Good evening, viewers, and thanks for joining us once again. Had a lot of positive feedback from the last video. Really do appreciate that. Messages and comments, etc. But thanks again. Appreciate that. One of the questions I was asked a lot is what happened to the gold Centura? Have I still got it? Yes, I've still got it. All leftovers. She's still here. I did finish the car, and no, I didn't do a video of the car finish, so I just thought I would briefly go over and touch on some of the things that a few of the questions people have been asking regarding the car, and what we've done to finish it off. So yeah, let's just have a little bit of a brief look over the car. Start in the rear. It has got a Borg Warner rear end in it still. 28 spline, you probably can't see a lot underneath there. 28 spline. Axles, they're not billet axles, they're cut and resplined Falcon axles. Work really well. Have got in the center, it's got running a 3:3 ratio at the moment. I may change that up to a 2:9:2 just for a little bit more drivability, etc. on the freeway. Has got a built LSD in there as well, just like your Falcon Commodore style LSD, cone style LSD. Built FT as well, FT, you know, F and tight. So yeah, that's just a budget style rear for one of these, which is quite cost effective. Rebuilt brakes, etc. We've got rebuilt brakes all round on the whole car. Got the old emergency kit there, oil, water, fire extinguisher, and plenty of rags, of course. It has got a Hemi in there after all, Hemi 6. We've got our battery in the boot. Run a EFI style fuel system in this. I have actually got a bit of a surge underneath the rear there. Once again, you can probably see the diff maybe now. I can't reach down that far because of my back. But yeah, we've got EFI style fuel system in here. So we've got the fuel feed up into here through a filter into a that's actually a VL Commodore fuel pump. This does actually run a return line. Once again, it has got a EFI style fuel system on it. So we've got the pre-filter and post-filter filter for the fuel pump in the boot, etc. Probably just going to freestyle this one as well, like I did with the last video. Once again, I have got carpet for this car, but I haven't actually got around to putting it in there yet. Just grab my torch. Haven't got around to putting it in there yet, but yeah, just got your basic autometer gauges with the oil and boost pressure with this one, naturally, because we're running a bit of boost. And yeah, once again, got the covers in the mat because we take Tristan, our greyhound, out for drives with us. But that's just the basic interior. We've got a 4-speed manual box in this one. It's got the old box out of my old race car in it with a puck clutch, just a Borg Warner single rail. Seems to be working quite well, although second's a little bit worn out. When it's cold, it pops out of gear sometimes, but never mind, it still gets along and boogies along. So yeah, I'll just lift the bonnet and we'll have a look underneath there. So compared to the last video that I did, which is, I think it's actually called We're Back Baby, where come back from, it was the 2022 New Year was the last video that I did regarding this car and what I've been doing with it. But as you can see, it's pretty much all finished off. So we've got a brand new radiator in there. I'm very happy with that. It's got a red back core in it. Very happy with that. The fuel line, people ask me a lot, like, what have you done with the fuel regarding, because it's got boost, etc. Well, we run a Malpassi rising rate fuel regulator. Once again, this has got a return line, so fuel comes in through here and then gets regulated out. So we've got fuel coming in, fuel going out back to the fuel tank, and then we've got fuel pressure here. Got a fuel pressure gauge, and then rising rate fuel pressure. I haven't got it hooked up as yet. I still need to muck around with a couple more things I'm only running 5 pound boost at the moment. That's what it's spiking to. It's only really holding 3 pound, if that. So basically I'm only running 3 pound boost at the moment. We've only got a tiny little RX-7 Series 5 turbo on there. It works fine for this. It gets up on boost straight away, and it's just a great fun little car. Once again, like I said, I'm only running still a standard ignition. So once again, I'm not taking any timing out of it at the moment. So yeah, I'm not being greedy with my boost as yet. I will wind it up. I mean, I ran 14 pound through this old setup years ago when I had the rising rate and everything all hooked up. I had a fixed dizzy. Back then, still, I only had a fixed dizzy in it. Soon I'll have an ICE in it. Once I get another project happening, and this car will get a lot more upgrades as well. So yeah, what else have we got here? Yeah, once again, just a fuel pressure gauge, so I can keep an eye on things once I get that fuel pressure, or once I get the rising rate fuel pressure hooked up. Then yeah, I'll be able to monitor what the fuel pressure is doing. So yeah, that's pretty much it really. There's not really a lot more to the car compared to when I last finished it. So perhaps what I'll do is chuck some leads on the battery and start her up. Okay, so I've chucked some leads on the battery. So this is a cold start. So let's see how we go. Yep, I always first kick every time. Fuel pressure takes a bit to come up. It's a little bit rattly. Until it gets warm, the actual wastegate actuator shakes a little bit. That's that little vibrating noise you can hear. But yeah, that's the vibrating noise there. But that goes away once it heats up and everything expands, etc. But yeah, as you can hear, she just fires up, no problems at all, and idles away really well as well. Got the 500 Holly on there. Still just running the factory fan and everything, and yeah, she just purrs along, to be quite honest. The rear, it sounds good. Like I said, it's got a 3-inch exhaust all the way through, so yeah, just purrs along. And it's a really nice day, so instead of just sitting in here doing a static sort of run, I think we'll take it out for a bit of a drive. Seems such a nice day. Okay, so going for a bit of a drive in leftovers. A lot of people ask why you call it leftovers. Well, this car's just been purely built from leftovers. I'll put a link in the description of the video of what we sort of started with, and you know, once again, I've done everything myself, from bumper to bumper, apart from wheel alignment. Yeah, the reason we call it leftovers purely because it was built with leftover bits and pieces from other projects, from my other turbo car when that evolved to what it is now, etc. So yeah, so just a brief rundown of the car. I've probably gone over it before, but the engine, believe it or not, is out of my old daily Centura. It's got over 200,000 Ks on the clock. It simply just had an enamel rebuild, just taken out of the car and painted, degreased, cleaned up and painted, and a drain back for the turbo. That's about the only thing that I've done with it. It's running, like I said, a 500 Holly rising rate, fuel pressure. So when we come on boost, it increases the fuel pressure. Although I haven't got it hooked up at the moment, but it does have an EFI style fuel system in it with a return line to the tank. So there, that's the engine's not really, like I said, there's nothing much at all, and it goes all right for what it is, to be quite honest. car, old Charger. Although we've got some roadworks up ahead, and it's not unstreetable, but it's a little bit, you've got to be a little bit mechanically sympathetic when you're driving it, because it's either basically on or off. There's no sort of in between. You can sort of slip it, but it prefers just to sort of almost like a dumping it. So when I actually drive, when I take off, I literally drive off at idle, and then once the clutch is out, then accelerate. Otherwise it does actually shudder a bit. When you take off quite rapidly, it's fine, because it's it just engages, etc. So it's fine. Oh dear, we've got we've got an actual road closed up here, and we're going for a big detour. Okay, this looks interesting. I don't know what we've got installed here, but it doesn't look like we're going to the destination. Really no idea what's going on there. And we've got a big fire up ahead. Okay, this is looking interesting. Shut it down until we get our bearings back, I think. Doesn't look like we're going where I expected to go. Alright, back in a minute. Alright, so change of plans. Don't know what's going on up there, but can't get through. So where was I? Up to the gearbox. Like I said, puck, clutch, etc. The diff is one of my built diffs. It's a 323. It's got a 28 spline cone style LSD in there, out of like your Falcon, Commodore, actually all rebuilt, all new bearings, etc. 323s and 28 spline axles, which are my made up axles that I have made, etc. And have sold plenty of. Yeah, so you know, that's pretty much it as far as the car goes. It's pretty basic, anyone can do it. You know, it goes quite well, accelerates quite well, you know, from what it is, and so forth. You know, it's not out to set any records on fire, but you know, once again, it sort of goes all right for what it is. Compared to my other cars, my red car, yeah, that's a totally different ball game. As my red car will turn the tyres along. If I did this along here, it will turn the tyres. But yeah, apart from that, it's just a cruiser, like I said, built out of all my leftover bits and pieces, and it's only running, as you can see on the boost, it's only running, you know, like not even 5 pound boost. So yeah, it's just cruising along. That's all it is just a cruiser, you know, and that's literally what I built it for. Going to go and giving it heaps through the back streets through here, because it is a residential area. So, but, you know, it still gets up and goes all right. So as you can see, it's, you know, no big lumpy cam or anything like that. And do bear in mind, this is a 200,000 k old engine. It's nothing new. No cam, no headboarding. Standard manifold that's been you know, had been cut and had the turbo flange welded onto it, and that's pretty much it. You know, there's nothing special about it at all, and it just drives along nicely. There's no, like I said, no big lumpy cam, etc. And you know, it just sort of, it does what it does. It just cruises along. Because it hasn't got ped work and all the rest of the stuff. Well, it behaves itself with the temperature, etc. And just cruises along nicely. You know, like going up a hill, and just shoots the torque of the turbo on it. Along just quite nice. nicely, you know. Has got a 3-inch exhaust all the way from the turbo. I haven't got a waste. It's got an internal wastegate, so that's just plumbing back straight back into the exhaust. I haven't got a blow-off valve on there at the moment, just due to me being lazy and not putting one on there yet. But so it's just basically back spooling the turbo. But you know, we're only running like about 4-pound boost, so it's not going to hurt anything. As the reason I haven't hooked up the rising rate yet either, and I'm still only running. I still am only running a standard ignition on this as well. Just nothing's been done. Like, you know, there's a lot of improvements to be done with the car, which will get done as other cars come apart, and you know, this gets the hand-me-downs or the leftovers, which will go into this car. That's one of the other problems with the car, is second gear is a little bit temperamental. I used to do my burnouts in second gear with this gearbox, and it's may have hurt the selector shaft just a little bit. It's still not in gear or anything, but anyway, we can live with that. That's a small sacrifice. So yeah, so we haven't got the rising rate hooked up, haven't got the only got the standard ignition, but you know, once again, that's all things that we'll do in the future. It was all about getting the car going. And once again, if you have a look at the video that I did many moons ago now, with this car, what we started with and what it is now, it's yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. And once again, I've done all the work myself, so yeah, painting. Although doing all the work myself, yes, another reason it has taken me a while is due to my back injury. So it has actually taken me a lot longer than I expected to get this car finished due to my injury that's laid me up. But I'm not going to go into that too much. Yeah, we just as you can see, this place is just full of speed humps. You know, one within a couple of meters of each other, and there's another one, and then there's another one. But as you can see, the car just drives along nicely. Temperature's all good, oil pressure's all good, and it's a great car just to go for a Sunday cruise on. And you know, if you want to muck around a bit, you can go for a bit of a drive. Sometimes we take it up the Wollonga Hill and that sort of stuff, up the old Wollonga Hill. It's a bit of fun. But yeah, it is a lovely day for a drive, so excuse me from waffling on. If you're wondering where we are, this is my hometown, picturesque Port Noarlunga. It's a beautiful place. Pause out a second again. That a bit. That one. When I did get this car going, I'll let you know a little secret. I had it going and parked it up and discovered a few drips of water on the ground. Well, stupid old me didn't replace the Welsh plugs, did he? So a $3 Welsh plug in the back of the block cost me engine out, a lot of time, a lot of pain in my back. But with my wife, who's holding the camera right now, with the help of her, we once again pulled the engine out and replaced the Welsh plug. and got it all back in again with helping me mate Stevie Hillman as well. He came around and gave me a bit of a lift here and there where I needed it, but yeah, so yeah, that was a bit of a setback with that, so but we got it all sorted. So yeah, that was all the Welsh plugs down the side of the block and the one in the back of the block all replaced now, so yeah, hopefully it'll be happy motoring now. Out of it through a residential area because it's actually a nursing home right there. Golf range, parked cars. So we'll head on home back to the workshop, and this old girl back in the shed. Okay, so back in the shed. As I said, you know, it's nothing special. It's just a car that was built with leftover bits and pieces, but it's just a good fun car to drive. So once again, you know, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe, because I'm going to have more of this sort of content. This car's going off to the wheel aligners very shortly, so I'll have a little bit more of that, taking it out for its, you know, first drives and so forth. And other content as well with my other red car and so forth. Hopefully going to be taking that out the drags very soon. I bought some Street Pro Street radials for that car. Once again, this one's to the wheel aligners, and this one's just leftovers being leftovers. Alrighty, so yeah, thanks again for joining us, and please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video.